Maybe I should add myself to the stage. What's up, y'all? It's just Rondo. Welcome to my channel. Hey, El Cid, passing through. I don't know if El Cid is not really a housewives person, but she will show up for you girls. Say what's up, come through, and hit the like button. So I'm gonna ask y'all to go ahead and do the same thing. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. You can come over here with me on these days and you know deal with me and my technical difficulties that I have sometimes from time to time. Anyway, welcome to the channel. And yeah, why are we here? We're here to discuss these Real House Wives of Potomac. It's season 10. It's episode 1. I don't know what these ladies got going on. Not a whole lot, but that's typical for them. We've got some new housewives added to the mix. So hopefully, seems like they've got things going on, businesses and things. So hopefully we'll see something different than what we've seen before. What's her name? Somebody with real businesses, not like Maya. Maya's gone, and we didn't want any of that. Whatever that fake stuff is going on, the fake stuff is gonna be a problem for Stacy too. She gonna have to figure out a way to turn that around. Anyway, y'all, here we are. There's the flashback. Dear Karen, because we got to bring the people up to speed. We got to pick up where we left off last season. Last season we left off with Karen getting carted off to the pen because she was down there on the body cam footage embarrassing all of us with her 4th DUI. So yeah, Giselle is pretending to care, and she invites the ladies over so they can have a little conversation, a little let's discuss Karen situation. When I say pretending, I don't think Giselle necessarily wants Karen in jail, but I think Giselle is absolutely, reveling in the fact that she can maybe reclaim her status as, not the grand dame, but the leader of the pack. I don't know. She's a little more light than she used to be. So never, ever, ever am I probably ever going to forgive or, not forgive, but, have anything to do with Giselle. Giselle is not, I'm not team Giselle, but a lot of people like her. I don't, care how pretty she is. That's not enough for me. I don't like the things she's done. I don't really care for, her character. I don't think she's changed at all. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, they sitting over here, have a little sit down. It's Ashley, Wendy, Kiarna. They're all sitting there pretty much discussing Stacy, trying to figure out what's the deal with TJ. Because when we left, the reunion, TJ was on the phone with the guys telling them that he was paid to be Stacy's boyfriend. I thank God for that, because we didn't, really believe he was a real boyfriend. So the revelation that Stacy paid TJ is not really that juicy or hot of a tea. But that's what we're going to discuss over here. Then Stacy comes in, so we got to rearrange and move the conversation back around to Karen. Wendy said, her and Karen weren't in a good place, but, she don't want to see her locked up. I feel like they all think, though, that Karen needs to take some accountability, because whatever that video was that she left us with, that was not her taking accountability. Karen has to come to terms with her drinking problem. Everybody been new. What's her name? Sharice been trying to tell us all, but we thought she just didn't like Karen. So, she out and she paid her, dues, and nobody really wants to see her locked up. But I don't think I said, like, Giselle is mad that she's not here right now. They said this was her 4th DUI. She's gonna have to do better. Ashley moved the conversation around back to TJ, because like most of the time, Giselle tells Ashley, what to do. Ashley goes to execute the, mission. And then, Giselle gets to sit around acting like she didn't know what was going on and she didn't say nothing about that. Although she does have a hard on for Stacy too. It's Ashley's job to get all up in the business. So Ashley is like, so what's up with TJ? Like, he said that you were paying him to be your boyfriend. And Stacy, she's still lying. She says she's calling it sitting in her truth. She said what's his man? TJ said he was going to come over on TV and retract whatever it is he was saying. But TJ was on Instagram saying he had receipts. We haven't seen any retraction. We haven't seen any receipts. And we kind of don't care. We know that this man doesn't like Stacey and vice versa. She said she brought him out while she was still married. And she wouldn't do that. Stacey, this is the problem. Like, when you just be lying for nothing, like, I really don't care then what's going on in your life. I like Stacey when she first came over here, but if she gonna just be over here making up shit, I hate that more than anything. I'd rather you just have a boring life than for you to bring a TJ over here in our face that pretend like he's your 41-year-old boyfriend. When he was all on TV back in the day with when we were all teenagers, child. And if I say we, that means this man is growner than 41. At least by 10, 15 years. Stacey says she's shocked by the negativity. No, you're not. You knew when you came up in here that they was going to come for you. You've been prepared for it. You've had enough time to get, they got questions. And Karen is not here. Mia is gone. So you're up next. You're the one that they're all going to pile up on. And that's what's happening. Stacey, what's her name? Not Stacey. Kiana piping up, talking about, girl, you was over on that stage lying, trying to squish a tear out the beady little eyes. And I was like, oh, what is Kiana so mad for? Did Stacey stand her up? I thought they were cool. They were roommates together. And it seems like Kiana has come over here on the Giselle, gravy train. She's changed, rearranged her loyalties and things. And so Stacey said, this girl usually have a vanilla personality. I mean, yeah, she said she coming in vanilla usually with no personality. I wouldn't say she doesn't have no personality, but she's usually, she's piped up a lot for no reason. Stacey doesn't like the hot seat, so Stacey bounced on these girls. I don't blame her. There was, not a whole lot going on over here. I'm not finna sit up here and tell you. There's no way she's about to tell them anything about TJ. So they can keep going on and on if they want to, but, if she's not budging, and TJ ain't producing no receipts, and we don't want to talk about it. So I'm glad, they went ahead and got this out the way. I hope this isn't like, I want to move on. We don't want to talk about what happened last season, so yeah, let's wrap this thing up. Giselle, after Stacey walked out, says some lady showed up at an event that her and Ashley was at. They was at the Black Hollywood luncheon, and some actress who's TJ's best friend. I thought Stacey was TJ's best friend, but he's got a new best friend, actress, who is walking around with his legal documents in her phone, just in case she runs into one of the Housewives of Potomac, so she can show them the receipts that, TJ is suing Stacey for 50% of her Real Housewives of Potomac paycheck, which sounds insane. I don't see how anybody, but that doesn't seem like a great deal, TJ. She might have offered you something. We wasn't finna give you half of the check. We're not stupid, TJ. At the end of the day, hey, Kiwan, at the end of the day, I think it's very stupid for some person to be walking around. I mean, is that what we do? We walk around with, people's legal documents in her phone. I have enough of my own stuff in my phone. I don't need to keep your documents. And how can what makes them so sure these were accurately legal documents just because they, was a printout of something? Anybody can make anything up. Hey, Shayna, how did y'all like the show? It was okay. It was okay. I understand that they had to, like I said, wrap these up. I appreciate the introduction of the new ladies. So, I know almost 500. I feel like they be playing with me. I was on a roll. I'm going to just, keep my mouth shut and continue to accept my blessings. But, you were bored to tears. I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep. Fell asleep a few times. But anyway, here we are talking about these people. We finally meet Stacey's husband, child. I thought he was an old man. I mean, this ain't really my cup of tea. This isn't something I would be doing. I feel like Stacey and her husband look alike. Is it just me, or do they look like, the white and black version of each other? Anyway, these people said they're back together. And it really sounded like more of Stacey's bullshit. Like, what is actually going on over here? And his energy, like, honestly, is just as weird as it was with TJ. She does a lot of talking, trying to convince us, whatever the heck it is, she's trying to convince us of, like, look at us googly eyeing each other. No, you wasn't. There wasn't Letitia over there on the Bell Collector googly eyeing Glenn. What is with y'all googly eyeing your husband? He's not googly eyeing. He's wondering, like, how much of this lie is he gonna stand by, because he doesn't want to be made a fool of the way you have. Now he has brought himself over here on this platform, and we can identify him. Next thing, whatever Stacey's husband's name is, they're gonna get into your pockets. They're gonna investigate your funds and figure out, like, where your wealth comes from. And if it ain't wealthy like Stacey said it is, then, well, that's just another lie for them to come after her about. These people come over here with these lies. It doesn't make sense, because it never works. It always blows up in somebody's face. She said he sent her an Evite. Would y'all like that? I mean, I was torn about it. I don't think I would. I think, it is kind of cute if you get an Evite on a date with your man. That's different. I'm not mad at it, Stacey's husband. I'm going to say thumbs up on the Evite. It was cute. And if you follow through with a nice whatever it is you invited me to do, that's very cute. Anyway, they keeping stuff from Bella again. Bella didn't know they was getting divorced. Bella don't know they's back together. Bella got internet. And I bet you Bella knows that y'all are over here lying. Like, she's not going to trust anything. Good grief. Moving right along, Kay is a housewife now, so Kay has to do what Kay needs to do. And Kay moved out with her boyfriend, and she moved into an apartment condo. I thought she had one already. Didn't she have an apartment? Did she get a new one? I'm guessing this one is new, because her mother was all like, "Oh my God, it's so cute." Kiana has pictures of herself hanging up to look at. Do y'all do that? I guess. It's a lot. I don't have any sexy pictures of myself hanging around. I prefer, like, other art that's not a picture of me. I know I live here. Where do you hang a big old sexy picture of yourself? In your living room for people can come to see it. Anyway, her and Greg are on a break, or were on a break. After the reunion, they broke up. That's what she said. She wasn't feeling good about the way things were. Her mother definitely is not feeling the relationship. But after the whole breakup that she left him after the reunion, he then invited her to Jamaica so they could talk. I mean, you can invite me to Jamaica to talk. That doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind, but I would love to have a Jamaica conversation. Evite me, Jamaica conversation me. I'm just saying. So anyway, now they're back to just dating. Girl, that's a downgrade, isn't it? If you go all the way to moving in with the engagement, she didn't have a ring. Well, now she's back in a condo, so she got to start all over again with Greg. I would prefer she don't waste her time. Just do something else. He's not the one. Her mother said that relationship wasn't good for her. We see it. That's all we needed to know. Greg was not nice. She wasn't getting the things that she wanted out of the relationship. It seems like he was taking advantage of her, and she was putting her own things to the wayside. So, okay, go back over to your business and focus on that, like Happy Eddie is. Happy Eddie is expanding, y'all. Happy Eddie is in, I think they said 3 different states. So Wendy and Eddie is over here. I always love when the season starts and Wendy and Eddie give you a good family, moment. The little baby is not a little baby no more. She says she's going to be a doctor like her mother. Her son said he think he might go ahead and fill out an application for Chick-fil-A. Isn't that funny how boys are? The little bitty baby is like, I'm going to be a doctor like mom. The other son is like, she's not even an actual doctor. Dr. Wendy, son. That's what her name is. Wendy's confessionals are fly. I'm loving everything about this. It's giving me Marlo Thomas. I love the little halter suit situation. Wendy's fashions be fashioning. Love it. You didn't watch last season? No, they weren't married. She was over here acting like she didn't care about getting a ring. I'm not a girl that chases a ring, but she's moved in with this man only to be working for him for free and not really. I mean, I'm not gonna say she, didn't focus on her business, but it seemed like she was focusing on this man and his business only to have to break up with him, then to be dating him all over again. And he's not even a child. Anyway. Back to Happy Eddie. Happy Eddie is doing well. They're going to be in 3 different states. So, the people be out here doing what they do. When I say the people, I might mean myself. Now, I don't do edibles because they give me the poops. So there's that. Anyway, don't judge me. Ashley is planning a divorce party. So, girl. Yes, Wendy's outfit is fire. But Wendy, like I said, she be doing the darn thing. They could take a lesson. Well, they do. They try to copy Wendy, but she's gonna be the fashion winner over here, and the family winner. Their family is so cute. I love their little family moments and like how these kids are not little anymore. And Eddie's got like 3 little people that running around the house looking just like him. Oh, well, I would go on a trip to Jamaica and bounce, especially since he's not acting right. I mean, yeah, he said he wanted to talk. So for sure, let's go talk in Jamaica. It helps me think better when I'm in that island breeze. Now, what you talking about should be considered compensation for even going out with his ugly self. I didn't say that. That man's not ugly. Anyway, Ashley and Stacy. Ashley is just determined. This whole episode was about, the interrogation of Stacy asking about CJ. We don't want to know, but Ashley damn sure wants to know. So she invites this lady to go shopping with her, over at her, to buy an outfit for her divorce party. So Ashley tells Stacy about this lady with the receipts. Stacy, she doesn't care about the lady with the receipts, about the legal documents. She's like, when your imaginary friend shows me the documents, then we'll have a conversation. Until then, we're not talking about that. I feel like all these ladies lie, so I don't know why it's like, Stacy, you lie. Ashley, you be lying too. Stacy is standing on business. She says she forgive TJ, she forgive him, and she's moved on from that. So I don't know what you want her to say. Does it seem like Stacy owes Ashley any explanation about anything? Ashley, what happened to Jack Harlow? We know that wasn't your real boyfriend either. You probably didn't pay him, but he was definitely not your real boo thing. Where he at? You single now, girl. He worked down to the bar or whatever little boy do. So after Stacy stood on business and she wasn't budging about the whole TJ situation, she asked her about the divorce. Are y'all divorced? Stacy said, yeah, she's divorced. And Ashley said, down to the Potomac, Maryland Paperwork Bureau, it doesn't say anything on file about her divorce. Is it just me, or is it just strange that Ashley is going that far to find out? Girl, you barely just got divorced, and we doubted that it was going to happen for the last 10 years, like Stacy said. She said you need to be Googling a voice coach instead of Googling whether or not she's divorced. And I'm going to say I would prefer she doesn't Google a voice coach and she just stops singing altogether. We don't want it. But okay, Stacy, when you get a divorce, licenses are public information. So when you lie about things that people can actually like Google, it makes you look a fool. You and your husband over here playing, and he don't know what lies you're telling, so he's better answer carefully, or else he gonna be caught up in your bullshit. Seems like he already is. If you're a liar, he's a liar, and y'all are a bunch of lying liars who lie. Ashley, you too. She got tired of the questions, Stacy did, so she left the store. But what was she supposed to do? We was over here to get a dress for your party. You asking me about my divorce and about TJ, and I'm standing on what I said. Unless you got some receipts, I'm not trying to answer. Ashley volunteers to be messy. Every season, that she signs up for whatever Giselle, puts her up to. So, but girl, I've seen you. You went out with the kids. She said her and Stacy went out with the kids somewhere. And then, they got together over here at the store. You're not going to keep calling me over to interrogate me about the same thing. I already told you none of your damn business. I'm not telling you anything about that. Ashley. Ashley said the lady got hot breath. Stacy, that's unfortunate that these people, and not just Ashley, are over here discussing your breath. What are you eating? Because she looks like somebody that eats like weird shit that makes you burp up stink breath. She should reevaluate that. That's not a good look. She need to carry some mints or something. Giselle's empty nest. Nothing going on in Janelle's empty nest. Her kids are not there, so she's walking around that house sashaying in front of a camera. So there's that. Ashley called her. She told her what happened at the store. So we know this. It's like the same conversation. This will be the third time we've had this conversation since the show been on, and it's only been like 20 minutes at this point. We meet Kay's friend Angel. What do y'all think about Angel? I'm going to go ahead and say the verdict is still out. Angel is married to a retired football player. He used to play for the Denver Broncos. She says she's a mom. She's an entrepreneur. She's a journalist. Hey, Portia, what kind of journalist? Angel. And like I said, her husband retired NFL. Her and her husband own Wonderland Outdoors. So I guess it's like they came from Denver. I guess the people in Denver be doing a lot of outdoorsy things because it's mountains and water and, just a whole different vibe. It's a lot of outdoorsy things to do around here. So I'm not mad at it. She says it's a luxurious outdoor experience and they're opening one a location in Maryland. That would be very cool if they could go to different places and give you an experience that's native to the area. So yeah, I want to look a little bit more into that. Not because I think this lady is a liar, but I think that's an interesting business for Black folks to be in. Kay gives her the tea on all the ladies. So apparently Wendy and Angel went to the same college. Angel's trying to make it very clear to us that Wendy graduated before she did. I mean, okay, but Wendy looked good, girl. So easy on that, whatever that is you was doing over there, being messy. They went to Temple. And she said, according to Angel, Wendy has always been suited and booted. She was over there in college, suited up and preparing for her future. So, hey, Wendy, seems like it all worked out for the best for her. Kay said that she's been getting these microaggressions from Wendy. And Wendy has been snubbing her at events. And Kay, this made me see you in a whole different light. And I heard about the little tension between Kay and Wendy before the season, started. And I was like, why? I thought they were cool. I didn't want, but like I said, Kay is easing herself over on the Giselle train. So for whatever reason, even though Giselle is not going to distance herself from Wendy, it's a requirement for Kay to do that in order to be friends with Giselle. So that way they can talk shit about Wendy, or she can do Kay like she does Ashley to go do her dirty work and then, come back and, kiss the ring, I guess. I don't know. It's Ashley's party, child. Ashley, this is what I was talking about over there at the Bell Collective. It was a nothing event, to be honest. It's a divorce party. Usually when we get Potomac, they're in their springtime. Let's see. Ashley Darby was messy on purpose in just the first episode of Real. Yes, that's her job. We know that's her job. And Ashley generally doesn't have other things going on in her own life, so she goes ahead and tries to probe into other people's life. We wanted to talk about how them kids be crawling all over the furniture and then top of the cars and the cabinets and things. But anyway, the venue it's springtime in Maryland. I guess, you want to bring the flowers out, trying to get that springtime vibe going. So her theme was theming, I suppose. It wasn't Bridgerton, it was just a garden party with flower things. I wasn't mad at it. At least it wasn't like I was saying Bell Collective over here with, round tables and reception chairs. If you're gonna have an event, do something. Everybody was like, oh, it's nice. The food looks good. You know what I'm saying? So good job, Ashley, on your party. Visually, it was a pretty party. You think Dr. Wendy was being dismissive? I think Kay was being a little like spoiled and sensitive. She over there with a picture of her own self in her house. It says a lot, and her mother spoils her probably. Yeah, Kay was giving me a little bit of spoiled energy tease. Giselle comes. She gets here with her new friend. I forget what the lady's name is off the top of my head, but she's a British lady and she speaks very proper, and so I guess that makes Giselle feel like she has a fancy friend. They come in, they say hi. Here comes Sharice running for the camera because that's what she gonna do. She don't miss any opportunity to be running up in front of that camera. Stacy showed up, even though the ladies were coming for her. Stacy went ahead and she got to get that paycheck just in case this man TJ try to run his mouth. She might have to throw him a few coins to keep his mouth shut. Wendy shows up, child, in a lavender dress. Wendy showed up like it was her party. Love it. She recognized Angel. So this is the thing. Like Angel was over here like, I don't know. And Wendy, and this is what, when they get in there saying that they know people. Angel says she ain't know Wendy. Wendy says she don't know Angel. They do not, navigate within the same circles. Was that shade? Not really, because I feel like they're both on a certain type of level. It just means we don't know each other like that. So don't come over here saying we was friends in college, but I think both of them said the same thing. So now that all the niceties are done, the guest of honor, Ashley, I'll put this for a minute. The guest of honor, Ashley, what was Ashley doing? Trying to struggle down them stairs to make a speech. Her dress was pretty. Ashley's dress was pretty. She gave her bloom speech. And then, right after that, then Kiara needs to have a conversation with Wendy. So it's been bugging her since we got started to have this conversation about Wendy and her microaggressions. She asked Giselle, can I talk to Wendy? Giselle was like, yeah, I'm going to be back. And when she first walked up, though, Giselle said to Wendy, did I inspire you, with my dress from last year? And Wendy was like, no, actually, it's an archive. And then Kierna sits down, and I heard, hi, Kierna. I guess it was, I don't know. I guess it was Giselle that said it, but they acknowledge her sitting there. And then Wendy goes, actually, it's a two-piece. Still talking about the dress. And then Kierna is like, no, that was rude. I'm sitting here to exclude me from the conversation. And I'm like, girl, what are we talking about? Why is Kierna always in a crown? She thinks she's a princess for real. And I feel like that's part of her problem. And she could be a princess, but girl, you in a room full of queens. So relax. She wasn't even like, I don't know, I don't know what acknowledgement she was looking for. Whatever it is that Kierna is looking for in Wendy is not giving it to her. And I don't understand what her need is. You need to go figure out your own business, girl. There's not even a competition. It's awkward that, Kierna has a problem and Wendy is clueless. That's why, look at Giselle. She knows what's going on. She knows she's in the middle. That's why she didn't want to. She said she was going to come back. I do not smoke marijuana at all. Well, then you wouldn't want to be getting any of Happy Eddie's products, because I'm pretty sure that's what that's all about. Have to go over there to maybe Kiana's business. She has a beauty business over here. There's other businesses. We can go to the Wandering, outdoor luxurious, pleasureful palace. Yes. I think, I mean, I don't know that it's so much production as much, well, if what's this lady? Giselle is part of production. And I don't have any proof of this, but I just feel like, you know, uh, Giselle can maneuver around, making sure that other people are not getting along with each other. It's still about numbers. She still wants to be like, by the time what's this lady? By the time Karen comes back, then Giselle will have gathered up all her friends in the group. She still needs Wendy on her side too, but yeah, she likes to see the mess. And Kierna is given not that bright because whatever she was saying over here doesn't make sense at all. She tells Wendy that she's being phony in the friendship, and that the Wendy that she gets on the phone is not the same Wendy that she gets in person. Now, her first problem with Wendy is, this had me so confused. She asked Wendy, was Wendy going to this event? Wendy said, yes, I'll be there. And Karen said, I'm a sponsor over there. And Wendy's like, okay, go ahead, sponsor. And so Karen is upset that she got there and found out that Wendy was a speaker actually at the event. So she's upset that Wendy didn't tell her that. And so Wendy's like, okay. I guess she probably, how many events that Wendy speaks at? She probably didn't even think about it in terms of, I need to be making an announcement about this, because she probably has a lot of speaking engagements. Kierna. Then she wanted this lady to somehow acknowledge her. And it's funny because the way Kierna was telling this story over here was not exactly the same way that she was telling the story to her friend, trying to like get her friend to lean towards not liking Wendy. I feel like the way she told the story, because the lady walked around talking about, well, I feel like, why can't Wendy just be cool? Well, Wendy was cool, girl. Maybe, I want to see how this relationship between Karen and her friend, they get on a TV show and things go different. They've been friends for 20 years, but were they friends, or did they just kind of hustle up and through this thing together? She mentioned that the lady worked at BT and, they looked out for each other. So, we'll see what it really is. But Kieran wanted this lady to stop in the middle of her speech and acknowledge that she was in the room. Girl, sit down. I see you. I don't know what that was about. Wendy was confused. I'm confused. Are y'all confused? Do we know what Kieran's real problem is? I'm going to go with Giselle because whatever she was saying didn't even make sense. So there was another event that she brought up, was even more silly than this one. They were on a red carpet somewhere, and Wendy asked Kierna, did you do your own makeup? I don't know if that was supposed to be a dig or not. Isn't Kiera in the beauty business? Like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know why she would have asked her that. Maybe she was just making small talk. Whatever it is, Kierna didn't like it. So she, has been harboring that one and saying that Wendy was throwing shade at her and she's not trying to catch that shade. So now that we're down to the problem that Kierna is having with Wendy, girl, foolish self. Ashley and Stacy and Angel, who else? And Giselle, they're sitting at the other side of the room because, Giselle got kicked away from over here. So now these guys are over here having a conversation. And people said Stacy's breath is bad. And that Lady Angel co-signed Stacy. So, they're saying your breath is tart. And I feel like if all these people are saying it, like this Angel lady just met you. So she doesn't have any real reason to be coming for you, especially when it's like about her breath. Ashley and Stacy have a private talk and, same thing. Ashley doing the most, stomping her feet, dancing around, calling this lady a liar. Like she said, I can't stand liars. Well, you might as well ask everybody to leave because the way they be lying over here, and, yourself included. There were issues, Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, too much alcohol for the whole season. I don't see them being too tipsy over here, just Karen, and she's not here. So clearly they could be messy without any. So that's the way they ended the episode with Ashley screaming at Stacy. Stacy called her a devil. Um, yeah. Then so the whole premise of this particular episode was for us to find out what was up with TJ. Like, Ashley had her fingers all in that lady's face. It was a lot. I pulled up the confessional looks just so we can discuss. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Maybe she said that lady's name was Tia, Giselle's friend. Here's Kierna over here with crown on, because she's the queen of whatever that she's the queen of. And her friend, Angel needs a stylist. That's all. I mean, she's just getting over here. I think she's styling her own self. Her titties need some more support. She's a big titty girl. So, sometimes it's difficult to figure out what to do with all them things. And she got this hair and this jewelry and this dress. And I'm not a fan of her confessional look. But Ashley, you're new, so we're going to give you a chance to fix that. Kiana just looks like the Statue of Liberty. So if that's what you were going for, girl, then congratulations. Tia, what is with the side hair? They both got side hairstyles. I don't like it. It looks like maybe, ice skating, the top of an ice skating costume outfit. Stacy wears pretty colors and she looks pretty in this color. It's a confessional look. I like her wavy hair. Stacy looks good. She's just gonna have to start telling the truth or she's not gonna be enjoyable to watch. Giselle looks good. Giselle had 2 confessionals and I just picked the one that she was smiling in. Yeah, because she feels very light. Giselle is like, coasting right now. She just gonna stir the pot and let these ladies do all the work and collect a check. I'm not mad at it. But yeah, Giselle looks good because she had a few years where she was, stressed out and you could see it all in her neck and everything. So she's out here living her best baddie life, I suppose. Wendy is the queen of the day. That's what she does. She wears dresses that moves the people out of the way. It was a beautiful look. Isn't it funny how Wendy can look like a queen without throwing a crown on top of her head? Ashley looked cute. It was a little, zebra print situation. It's weird to me why Ashley wears all those wigs. I mean, not weird, but is that a wig or her hair? I don't know. She looked cute, but Ashley, it's she's a hit or miss. So I can't, I can't say whether I like her hair one time, don't like it the next time. Shamia Morton was drunk the entire season without her husband, did not film with her. Yeah, I mean, it's very messy for the husbands. I think a lot of times it's just best for their business to stay out the way. If you watch Salt Lake City, what's her name? I can't remember her name. The new girl, Brenna. Her name starts with a B. Anyway, her husband be catching strays. It's hard for the husbands, that's got legitimate businesses. Eddie and Wendy is over here managing just fine, but. And if there was any, they tried to make up rumors about Eddie, but the rumors, did not work. So that kind of like blew up the whole situation. This was episode 1. I'm hoping that we've got all of this out of the system and we could get on to like some new subjects, get to know these new ladies. Tia is a high-end real estate person. So yeah, it's nice to see some people with some real businesses and not made up stuff. I don't even mind, like, if you just have a regular life, like Kiana has a beauty business, but, and I'm guessing she's making good money. I don't know, but it's nice to see people with businesses that are not making shit up. I heard Giselle say something when she was walking around the house talking about she's doing the Shady podcast, Slim Shady podcast over there with, Robin, and she said BMA, GMA, whatever that nonsense is that her and Ashley made up. That's all she got going on. That's why she's walking around this house with nothing to do. She's looking for a man, but not necessarily. We don't know. Anyway, y'all, Housewives are back, and we'll be back here every Monday to talk about these ladies of Potomac. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's just Rhonda. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.